Welcome to the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel, powered by InsideTexas.com. I'm Joe Cook, got Coach Dub with us, and we get to talk about some great breaking news here. Three-star wide receiver Kohen Brown from Waxahachie, I know how to say it, has committed to the Longhorns. One-time USC commit, someone who Lincoln Riley wanted. Now Steve Sarkisian wants him, and Steve Sarkisian got him on his official visit to Texas.
Yeah, definitely. This is a huge pickup. Look, I met Kohen Brown last spring around, I want to say February, do off-season workouts. And the Waxahachie Indian coach was like, hey, this guy's going to be a stud. He's the next up. He's going to be our leader, receiver. Like everybody says that sometimes about their kids. But, man, when I saw him out there running routes, he looked polished even then. I was okay, this guy has a chance to really be a dude. And as you see watching film now, the first guy would not bring him down. He plays with a chip on his shoulder. He's aggressive. He's big, he's physical, and he has speed to run by you. I mean, this is a really great get. Like I said, he comes in as a polished receiver, and he trains with Margin Hook. So, we got Dylan McCutcheon on team, Parker Livingstone, who also trained with Margin. So he'll come in ready to play day one, but he has the physical size and traits and stature to play like right now in college. You can look at him, and he's well put together.
As far as the class goes, this is a big addition for Texas in that, you have Kohen Brown locked up now. You had Chris Stewart in the class, still have Chris Stewart in the class. And now you're able to go, search for the guys like Jalen Lott, who have the optionality to play offense or defense. And then some of the other guys that they're also looking after. It feels like, we've talked and hinted about how they're maybe looking for a little bit more guys who are developmental, I guess, in this class. And this fits the bill, but even still, there's a lot of skill to like as you're seeing them running away on the screen right there.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, you look at the receiver room, it's young. A lot of young guys, right? A lot of guys you can kind of develop and fit to the mode that you want them to play with. But it's also, good when you got a guy that can come in and pick up the nuances of the game early as a freshman, and like Dylan McCutcheon's doing. I feel like Kohen Brown will be able to do much of the same. I mean, you can see ways Coach Sarkisian can use him in multiple ways with the jet sweeps, screen passes. Like, he can do it all. He also can play in the return game, right? So this is like an overall receiver. I think we'll have a chance to probably hit the field early. Just looking at his skill set, I feel like you just want to get the ball in his hands. He does a lot of great things.
As far as, looking at where he fits on the field, and this is pretty cool. You get to see him right here on a corner blitz, do a little bit of everything. You see him maybe being an inside guy, outside guy. He's right around 6 foot, 180-ish pounds. Where do you see his fit on the field?
That's tough. I think he can play. He's a guy who play inside or outside. But with that frame, I could probably see him as a slot, just because it's so easy to compare to Jordan Whittington or DeAndre Moore, how they play the slot, because he kind of has that build and frame and fit stature just like those guys. But he does have some. I feel like he can play outside. I feel like he has enough speed to play outside. He's a bigger physical receiver, but I feel like he can play either or. You can kind of mix and match and move him all over the place. Waxahachie does the same thing, but he plays mostly slot for those guys, as you see here on film.
Should be a lot of fun to watch. And you see him do a little bit of everything. And, you always love watching a guy who can catch the ball away from his body with relative ease. Always a good thing. And, hey, this is about 2.5 minutes in. They still got a lot more to go on this film. This is a 5-minute film. You get to see him do, slot fade right there. You just run past guys. Sometimes it's simple. And that means if he's able to just run past guys, that means he's got the physical skills to, and the speed especially, to be able to do stuff like that. And boom, high pointing the ball right there, doing a really solid job. So this is, you may look at the rankings. You may see something that, you're like, what is this guy doing in this class? He's not very highly ranked. Goes to Waxahachie, Donnie Glacers. But, I'm going to trust Steve Sarkisian. I'm going to trust Chris Jackson. And like I mentioned earlier, it's not just those guys. It's also Lincoln Riley wanted him in his offense too.
Yeah, definitely.
Should be a good way to look at that. This is a good comment. Reminds of Matthew Golden somewhat. Do you like that comparison?
I do like that. He kind of plays like him with the physical ability, like catch the ball, strong hands away from his body, make guys miss in space, can run routes, man. He can do it all. That's a very good comparison right there. Was it Jason Horn for life? Look, a ton of schools will come after him after he decommitted for USC. So that speaks about his ability. I'm not a big guy on the rankings. I think this guy by the end of his senior year or whatever, I think the rankings are going to change. He's going to be a 4-star, maybe a high 4-star once they do the re-rankings. I mean, he absolutely is a stud, and I think he plays well above his ranking.
Before we keep going, got to show some love to a sponsor that is Laura Baker.
Hi, I want to tell you about Laura Baker. If you're looking for a new home in the 512 or even at this point, let's face it, 737 area code, there's only one number to call. That's Laura Baker at 512-784-0505. As a member of the elite Andy Allen team with Keller Williams, Laura has helped Longhorns find the home of their dreams in Central Texas. Just ask our resident sex symbol, Ian Boyd, who moved all the way from Michigan to Texas with Laura's help. Laura can help you find what you're looking for in the 512, the 737, or even parts of the 254 and the 210. Just, give her a call at 512-784-0505. Her email is in the description as well as the rest of her contact details. She's a friend. Give her a call.
One thing, I guess, is, what's next? They've got Chris Stewart in this class. They definitely have, obviously, you can see Kohen Brown in the class. Jalen Lott's part of the conversation. But Charlie, it kind of seems like with the way Aaron Gregory, his commitment is being solidified with Texas A&M. Messiah Hampton, not really involving Texas. Just kind of going down the list of guys. The remaining big targets, you have Caden Finley. Yes. You have Jalen Lott, again, who has a position optionality. And you have Mason James. But I also feel like it's good for Texas to be going into the rest of official visit season, having these two guys locked up so they can either figure out what to do on the high school front or know what to look for in the winter portal.
Yeah, definitely. Having two guys committed is huge. I guess they plan on taking 4 guys. You got Caden Finley, who's about to announce July 4th, and Jalen Lott on July 4th as well. So, you can lock up the class before the summer's officially over, which would be huge. But it does give you that option. Say, if I have to, okay, we got a stack room full of young guys. Let's see how these guys develop through the season. Maybe we can hit the portal at the end of the season if we need to. Oh, but it gives you 2. At least you're playing with house money at this point. You got 2 locked in, 2 guys that's safe that can play, that you trust, and that you evaluate and say, hey, these are our guys. Now you can go out and find 2 more, whether that be the portal or continue to recruit high school guys. It just depends on who you want. But it gives you that safety net to go out and kind of just recruit across the nation.
Got a good question from Justin Wales. Surprised they pushed for Brown and Berryman. Seems like they're trying to focus on setting the floor of the class so they can go big game hunting down the stretch. As far as Berryman goes on that, I got to see him in person today, and he's taller than me. He's like 6'2". He is 320 pounds. He is built. He looks great right now. And once he gets the time to go through college strength and conditioning, that frame is going to look – even more what it's supposed to look like. And it looks pretty good right now. What about for Brown? Are you a little surprised that they made that push? You did mention that the rankings are like, okay, this guy's a little underrated.
Well, searching through the class of receivers who you want, like once this guy came on the radar, and I know Darius Terrell, who formerly played at Texas, has been pushing for Texas to get on this kid for a long time. And this is the offer he always wanted, right? And he's like, he got this Texas offer and now he's committed. But I'm not so sure about just surprised being pushed for him. Like, I think they saw his film, they saw his ability. He has a guy that they trust in the pipeline of Margin Hooks. So they know a guy he's going to come in ready and more advanced than most kids. And he has phenomenal film. I mean, you can't deny the film. So I know some people, they kind of chase stars. They say, well, he's not as highly ranked as another kid, but his film speaks like he should be one of the top receivers in the country, if you ask me. So I think that the staff made a great choice. I don't know about setting the floor. I think they're getting a guy who can absolutely probably be the best receiver in the class, regardless of ranking, because he's going to come in ahead of most people mentally.
Yeah, I'm excited for him. And we've seen 3-star, or maybe not even 3-star, but like guys in that territory. I mean, Parker Livingstone, I think he ended up as a 4-star, but he was kind of viewed this way. Different skill sets. DeAndre Moore was a little bit higher ranked, and you may be able to see a bump from them, but. This is a good point from Sean Magistrato, and I found that when I was going through his film. He did not do a whole lot during his sophomore year. Just, not anything big, just wasn't a big part of the Indian offense. And then he goes and gets 1,000 yards this year. And so maybe I can see why some of the ranking services, including On3, are slow, because he's only got 1 year of film, and a lot of these guys that they've already talked about have 2 years of film. But yeah, if he goes out and has another 1,000-yard season and does something big again, there's a good chance to see him rise in the rankings, and justifiably so. It won't be a Texas bump thing as well, like we've heard about so much. And then where does Texas sit in the recruiting rankings? Will we close out with top 5 before it's all said and done? Texas, at least in On3, the number 13 right now. They have 1 5-star committed. That's Diabell. 5 4-stars, and then 4 3-stars. And 2 of those 3 stars, I think, are the specialists, the kickers.
Yeah.
Jake Collette, who committed today, and then Trot O'Neill, the long snapper, who committed, I think, last month. So there's you always kind of look and see how the math and the formulas go for these recruiting rankings. But this is a good pickup for Texas. And again, 3 commitments in one weekend. That's what you're looking for on official visit weekends when you have the opportunity. And that was only with about like 13 or 14 guys coming in. So when we're covering 20 plus people next week, it's going to be we'll see what happens, especially as the Longhorns bring in more of their top targets. But as they do, go to InsideTexas.com. It's 4:50 here on Sunday. We've already got a bunch of feedback. Malachi Lee, David Benjamin, a lot of different players. Lamar Brown, so 3 really, really highly ranked players. Got analysis of what they were able to do on their Texas official visit already on there. You can get 1 week, I believe, for $1 or something like that. 1 week free, 1 week for $1. So go sign up. You're going to want to stick around. You'll get all the way. You'll be part of a great community that will have you covered once Ohio State comes around and once football season comes around. So should be a lot of fun. And of course, we'll have more coverage throughout the week of official visit season. So Charlie, thank you. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel, powered by InsideTexas.com.